Good evening. In this video, we are going to explore those 5 postulates proposed in the Elements Book 1. So let's start with the first postulate. It says we can make a straight line with 2 given points. Let's assume we have a point A here and point B here. Then we can make a straight line through the L. And in Postulate 2, it declares that we can produce a finite line here. For example, L is finite continuously in a straight line. So in both directions. So which means if we produce this line to this direction or in this direction, it is still a straight line. Okay? And Postulate 3 declares that with a given center here O and a given distance, this, let's assume this R, we can describe a circle, this. Okay, the first 3 postulates are pretty straightforward, but I would like to add a bit of the information about the uniqueness of them, because Euclid had not explicitly mentioned the uniqueness of these 3 postulates. So in postulate 1, the straight line L connecting point A and point B is unique. So which means we cannot make other straight lines like this, L prime, and these, L, let's say, double prime. They are not straight lines connecting point A and point B, and the straight line here, L, it is unique. Okay? And let's talk about the uniqueness of the second postulate. So we are saying that we have produced a finite straight line from here. And the method, or let's say the way to produce, is unique. For example, if we produce it like this or this, then this is not continuously a straight line. This is neither. So the produced way is unique. We can only produce L in this way. In another word, we can say that 2 straight lines can never have or can never share the same common segment. For example, this is a straight line, L1, and this is another, L2. So they cannot share the common segment. They can be intersecting with each other at a point, but it is impossible that they can have the common segment. For example, L1, L2, and this part is a so-called common segment. It is impossible. And in postulate 3, it is said that we can describe a circle, and this circle is unique. We can describe one and only one circle with a given center and a given distance. For example, you can describe a circle like this because distance is not as given, or it is impossible to describe a circle here because the center O had been given. So you can draw a circle here with another center. Okay, so the circle is unique. Now let's move to the fourth postulate. The fourth postulate says that all right angles are equal to one another. For example, these 3 right angles are equal. It's pretty straightforward. And let's move to the 5th postulate, which is the longest one. It says that given 2 straight lines, L1 and L2, and another straight line, L, falling on L1 and L2. Let's assume the force on A and B, and in the interior side of this line, we have two interior angles alpha and beta. If the summation of alpha and beta is less than two right angles, then L1, L2 will meet with each other in the same side, this side. They will meet at point A, let's assume, if we produce them to infinity. And the fifth postulate, it actually has a bunch of different alternatives, and I would like to talk about the first alternative. It is also known as Playfair's axiom, provided by the British mathematician John Playfair. In his alternative, he asserts that given a straight line here and a point here, we can draw one and only one straight line that is parallel to the given straight line. For example, L prime here. And I'm going to list some of other alternatives here, and if you are interested, just have a look. Okay, so at the end of this video, I would like to talk about some history about the fifth postulate. So in history, these postulates have been frequently studied or discussed by mathematicians. Some of them try to prove it is true based on the first 4 postulates and those 23 definitions, and some of them try to prove it is false. But I think none of them has succeeded in such job. And if we change the description of the fifth postulate a bit, we can probably develop new geometry domains. So let's check out alternative 1, Playfair's axiom. And in elliptic geometry, there will be none parallel line parallel to a given straight line and through a given point A. Sorry, non-straight line. And in hyperbolic geometry, there will be infinite number of straight lines that is parallel to a given straight line through a given point. There will be infinite of them. And if you are interested in them, just refer to these kinds of topics. But they belong to a brand new domain called non-Euclidean geometry, which is not covered in Euclid's book, The Elements, and we will not discuss them. Just refer to these topics, and I think they are absolutely interesting and mind-blowing. Okay? So in the next video, we are going to talk about 5 common notions. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.